everyone, Neaco.Cosplay here. You might recognize this logo from a previous video. You probably also recognize this cat from a previous video. The logo is of course from Tabletop Time. Now, in case you forgot, they are a YouTube channel that makes role-playing and mini painting content. And in my previous video I made a cosplay of one of their characters. At the end of that video I made this joke about wanting to cosplay all the Tabletop Time characters by adding them to my list. And of course, actually cosplaying them all is kind of impossible. But that doesn't mean I can't try. So in this video I'm challenging myself to dress up as many Tabletop Time characters as I possibly can in 3 days. So what do I mean with dressing up? Like a costest. You put on makeup, maybe a wig and some clothes to try and recreate a character. Now, because this is sort of a challenge, I'm also setting up some rules for myself. Of course, I can only try out Tabletop Time characters and I'm giving myself 3 days to do this. But I'm also setting up some additional rules. The first one is that I can't Photoshop any big parts of the costume. I can go nuts on the background, but only minimal things on the costume. The reason I'm doing this is because otherwise I can just add an entire costume in post and that sort of just defeats the purpose of this entire video. Going on from that, it sort of speaks for itself that I just have to work with what I've got. If a character has like big horns and crazy wings, bye kitty, and I don't have that stuff just laying around, well then I can't try that character. Simple as that. I have to work with what I've got. Moving on to the sort of last rule, the main role-playing group exists of 4 people. So you have Jazza, Jen, Rob and Dave. And I have to try at least one character from each of them. The reason I'm doing this is to make it more interesting, so I just don't stick with the female characters, and the whole point of a challenge is to, well, challenge yourself, and this will definitely do that. So I think I've been explaining this for way too long now. Let's get into day 1 with an epic montage. That was all for day 1. I managed to do 4 characters and I'm really happy with the results. At first I didn't really like my look for Seb because I've never really crossplayed before, so I had to look up like tutorials for makeup and all that kind of stuff. But with the edit and the background, it just makes everything come together, and I think it's actually my favorite now of day 1. I also really like how I put together the costume for Heuvel, just because I used so many different pieces. So to give you a little bit of a costume breakdown, I'm using my grey dress from Liv, I'm using the belt and the bracers, and also like the prop knife are all from my D&D character. The pauldrons are from Astrid. I'm using my Elsa wig, and the props are my sword from Erza. And I'm also using this like knight helmet I got years ago for a school project. And I just really like how you can create an entirely new costume by just taking stuff from other costumes and putting them together. But yeah, so that was day 1. let's get right into an epic montage of day 2. And that concludes day 2. This is so much fun to do, and this entire challenge is making me so glad that I have so many avatar cosplays. For Kewpie, I'm actually using parts of my Katara cosplay and my Korra cosplay, and I use like my husband's Connor wig to finish off the look. But I think my favorite characters of day 2 are actually Barry and Sarah, just because, well, I like to feel cute and I also like to feel badass, and today I got to do both, so that's a good day for me. But we have one more day to go, so let's just get into that with one more epic montage. Did 3 looks on the 3rd day because my skin is pretty sensitive, and after applying and removing makeup so many times, well, my skin was basically done with me. And for the final look, when I was applying makeup for Runa, it actually stung to apply makeup, so I had time to do more, but I did the responsible adult thing and just decided not to spare my skin. But I had so much fun doing this. I think for day 3 Pro is my absolute favorite. I just love how it all looks, and I just need to do this again someday. Looking at all the characters that I did, it's really hard to pick a favorite. But I think it's like a tie between Seb and Sarah. Or Pro. I also really liked how Hank came out. I just can't pick a favorite. I love them all. Maybe Kewpie a little bit less. Just, I don't know, I sort of look really awkward in that picture, which I guess in a way suits the character, so I think I've said it 1,000 times now, but I had just so much fun dressing up as the characters and making pictures and doing all the Photoshop stuff and creating these fun photos and making epic montages. I sort of just want to do one more. Shall we do one more epic montage? Yeah, we shall.